Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keyboard Warriors, presented by CrossFitMania.com. My name is Eddie Law. We got Fred Kirby and Jesse Rubacaba in with us today. Of course, we're going to be talking a lot of UFC 214, the aftermath of it. Fucking John motherfucking Jones. By the way, John Jones, number 1 pound for pound. Number 2, Demetrius Johnson. Number 3, Conor McGregor. Fred Kirby, your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I know what everybody's problem. I mean, Demetrius and John Jones, there's no problem there, I would assume, right? We all can agree that that's 1 and 2. Conor being at 3 is probably debatable, right? I'm sure we all can debate that. But I don't know, like, who would be at number 3 if Conor's not there? Off the top of your head, who gets the 3rd spot? Like
J-Check, maybe? That's what I've been hearing. That's my thought.
What about
that's
DC?
debatable, though.
It is. But what are you saying, Jesse?
Yeah, DC just got thrown a beating. It's hard to throw him in there.
True,
coming off of it.
But it's still like he's still number 2 in that division. He was still undefeated at heavyweight. I mean, you could make a case for him still being, at least top 5 of greatest of all time.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess it just comes down to how much value do you place on the fact that Conor got those 2 belts? Like, how important was that? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, Max Holloway just beat Jose Aldo, so that takes a little stake away from that win. Eddie Alvarez has been beaten before to accomplish a rare feat, but Conor's such a unicorn, man, in so many ways. I can see how you could make the argument that he's number 3. I mean, he has done some impressive shit. His only loss was to Nate Diaz, and he came back and remedied it. Blah. He came back and got that fucking L back, even though he didn't finish the cocksucker. He did win that fight. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like in J-Check's fucking record is kind of meh, too. You know what I mean? It's not really her fault, but, like, it's not like every fight of hers is a world beater that everybody's jumping out of their fucking pants over. You know what I'm saying? Which isn't her fault, but those massive fights against, some big fucking names, even the Dustin Poiriers of the world and shit, on the lead up to the title fight at 45 was relatively impressive stuff. So I don't know. These pound for pound discussions are always such a shit show because it's just like your fucking favorite band, man. There's really no right answer. Depends on what you put your fucking stock in.
Right. Well, go ahead, Jesse. My bad.
No, I'm saying, like, damn, they have Tyron Woodley down at 9. I mean, he self-proclaimed himself as the greatest ever, right? So I mean, he should be at least like.
Tyron Woodley.
Oh, calm down. We'll get to Tyron. He deserves his own goddamn segment tonight. That cute cocksucker.
Tyron Woodley saying a lot of shit, but if you guys can see on the screen right here, the pound for pound list: number 1, John Jones; number 2, DJ; number 3, McGregor; number 4, Stipe Miocic; and number 5, Max Holloway, followed by Cody Garbrandt; Daniel Cormier, number 7; number 8, Joanna and J-Check; number 9, Tyron Woodley; and Dominic Cruz is number 10. While Bisping is on the outside looking in, and Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes 13 and 14, with Robert Whittaker 15. It's kind of weird to have 3 champions. Sort of, I guess Robert Whittaker still counts. 3 champions outside with Dominic Cruz and DC in the top 10. Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, but like I said, man, these pound for pound discussions are just opinion based at the end of the day, man. Because you can always come. Listen, you know what's not fucking debatable?
No.
John Jones is number 1. For
John
me,
Jones.
Like with these pound for pound, who gives a fuck who the 5th pound for pound best fighter is? Pound for pound, these nuts. You know what pound for pound means for me? Who's number 1?
Yep.
Who's pound for pound the best? Floyd Mayweather is pound for pound the best fighter in boxing. Done. What the fuck? He's undefeated, got the longest record. It's not fucking up for debate. John Jones is our Floyd Mayweather. Quite frankly, I think that does a disservice to John. But in the grand scheme of things, that's the be-all, end-all. He is the pound-for-pound GOAT in our sport right now as it is. Everything else is up for debate. DJ's taking a loss. It was a long time ago in a different weight division, but he does have a loss on his record. Everybody else on that fucking list has a loss on their record one way or fucking another. So, John Jones is number 1, and everything else after that is a fucking debate.
All right, speaking of John Jones, how impressed were you about his performance on Saturday, man? I mean, the way he set up that kick on DC didn't have no idea that thing was going to come high. Every kick had gone low. All it needed was one landed. And then, that video that they had showing John Jones or DC predicting his own knockout, goddamn.
Yeah, Jesse, go ahead and take this first because I'm about to do some serious virtual dick sucking, Jack. So you can just go ahead and get yours out first with this one.
Wow. What else can you say about, like, because I know you're probably going to give all the praise in the world to him, but I got to point out that what was most impressive about his entire performance was the maturity that he showed. The old John Jones would have been, DX suck my dick, in DC's face, probably saying I beat your ass, now tell that to your kids, all kinds of stuff. This John Jones was respectful. His just everything was just the type of fighter that we want, right? And it seemed genuine. It didn't seem like it was fake. It was genuine what came off. So I think that alone to me goes to show that finally we're going to get the John Jones that we've kind of been wanting. This guy that has the kind of party attitude. He has his own little demons that he's got to struggle with, but inside this octagon, it's going to take one special guy to beat this guy, and I don't think we've seen that guy yet. I mean, there's some cute guys out there, like Fred would say, that are coming up that have kind of like the potential, but I don't see anybody right now that's going to be able to do anything to this John Jones. They're just going to be punching bags for him at this point.
Listen, man, right now, exactly. I mean, nobody knows what the future holds, and MMA is fucking insane, right? I'm dabbling at heavyweight. If he does that, all bets are off. But as of right now, there is one man on planet Earth that can beat John Jones, and that cute cocksucker looks at him in the morning in the mirror. John Jones is the only one that can stop John Jones. Look at how John looked against OSP versus how he looked against DC. I think a big part of what John does, too, is he kind of fights to the level of his competition. John has had a couple, quote-unquote, boring title fights, right? A couple. I think, not really boring, but he caught a little flat because he wasn't get the finish. Who were the guys he finished? Fucking Rampage, Machida, DC. When fucking John feels threatened, when that motherfucker really turns it on and really hones in, he is something special. I have heard people go on and on about how special DJ is and how special of a talent Dominic Cruz is. And do not get me wrong. I'm not fucking trying to take anything away from those guys. They are. DJ is a bad little dude, man. Work is the bee's knees. We all know that. But John motherfucking Jones is on a different fucking level. Physically, mentally, the way he approaches the fight game. I give a lot of credit to Conor for the way he approaches the fight game and the studying he does on his opponents. And he deserves that credit. As Ariel points out, he knows his opponent's reach. And, like the guy who's 9th ranked in the division, shit that you wouldn't think Conor knows, he knows because this isn't luck. It's not happenstance, happenchance, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with John Jones. This isn't a fucking coincidence that he is who he is. Yeah, he's a genetic freak. He's got 2 brothers that play in the NFL, but he also, you can tell, studies his opponents. The dude is fucking mind-blowing, and getting to watch this guy compete in his prime is amazing. Just, saying that about his game overall. Now, touching on what Jesse was talking about, that's what really gets me excited about John Jones, is I think the cute pricks finally got it figured out. Okay. He knows when to hold him and knows when to fold him, right? In the cage afterwards. He was very fucking humble, which was right. And, let me get sidetracked for a minute. Let me just go on a little rant right here. And let me just say, fuck you to all the fucking cocksuckers out there that posted the DC crying meme. And let me tell you something. I'm not one that gets a wet pussy very easily. I don't mind reaming fighters out. I don't mind talking shit. And I'm not uptight about shit like that. But certain shit, man, show a little fucking respect, man. Nothing sadder than seeing a full-grown man cry. I mean, listen, jokes are jokes. And when they're funny, even if they're kind of hurtful, they're funny. But watching a grown man like DC, and he's not a bitch. He's not a pussy. This isn't a fucking game. He's one of the toughest men on fucking earth. When you watch a man like that cry hard, like legit cry, that's fucking gnarly, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking sad. You little punk-ass pricks on fucking Twitter posting the DC meme. You'd fucking cry if you got fired from your job at Taco Bell. Stop it. That fucking man's been competing his whole life at the top of the fucking food chain, and he just can't be great. Close to getting the Olympics, right? Then he came that close to getting the belt, and he got beat by John. Then John leaves. He wins the fucking belt against a bad motherfucker in AJ, defends it against Gustafson, and then again against AJ, Anderson fucking Silva in the meanwhile. DC's no fucking joke, man. And then John comes back, takes the belt. So now we all get to shit on him, right? And he's no idiot. He knows what we're going to do. He knows we're going to say that he never deserved that belt. He knows that history's not going to see him as a real champion. That fucking stings to a guy like that. So all you cocksuckers that kick the man when he's down, you're a fucking cunt. You're a fucking twat. You know what I'm saying? I have all the fun with the memes. It's all good. And listen, 2 months, 6 months, whatever, man. Start with the memes. The very fucking next night, stop being a fucking cunt. Now, that being said, this new John Jones I love. And I'll tell you one of the fucking favorite things he said. I don't know if you guys caught the post-fight press conference, but I think I seen it on like YouTube and just like it was its own little segment or on MMA Fighting or some shit like that. Asked John a question like, you know, blah, 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 full circle. How do you foresee things going forward? And I can't remember verbatim what he said, but basically what John said was, listen, I'm cognizant. I'm going to try to do a lot better. But at the end of the day, and this is verbatim, he said, I'm a wild motherfucker. I fucking love it. That's it, baby. Embrace it. You are young. You are the alpha male of planet Earth. Do you think this guy's going to be a fucking daisy? Of course he's not. He's Bones Jones, man. He's the alpha fucking lion of planet Earth. Of course he's a wild motherfucker. I love to see him embracing that. You can be humble, but still be fucking cocky and still let motherfuckers know that you're the greatest. I think John Jones, if he plays his cards right, I know people are going to get their tits in a real big fucking twist about this. McGregor might have some challenges. If John can get this shit talk, listen, he's got the talent. McGregor's been beaten. Nobody loves Conor more than me, but he's been beaten. He's been submitted before. Ain't nobody came close to touching John Jones. If he gets his trash talk right and he goes and smashes out Lesnar and it's Gus again or something that makes a run at heavyweight, can you imagine John Jones, the fucking black leather jacket and the glasses, fucking staying up all night and still kicking ass? I mean, this could be the beginning of him being the star that we all knew he could be, man. I'm fucking excited. He's back.
Hey, look, he came back after time off. He's a world beater. So, I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Jesse.
No, I was just going to bring up that point. Do you think, I don't know if you guys read that Frank Mir tweet about saying how, you know, in that moment, DC realizes that his championship was never real, that he was just a placeholder until John Jones came back. Do you think that that's actually a thought that went through DC's mind, or do you think it's more just that this rivalry came to a head and, like he said in the Octagon, right? It's not a rivalry if you get snuffed twice. You know, like, it's not really a rivalry. It's just you have a problem with somebody and you can't beat this guy.
Both. It's both. That's why he's so sad. That's why I think people need the fucking, you know, free fucking moment. It's all that, man. He realizes that I mean, listen, I fucking like DC. All things considered, the shit that John said at the end of the fight was real shit. DC's a good human being, a nice dude, and a bad motherfucker. But he wasn't the champ. Goddamn, I hate to say it, but John Jones has been fucking speaking facts. DC got born in the wrong era, man. If it wasn't for John Jones, DC would be the man. But John Jones is real, and he's not. And for a man like DC, I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, and I was just saying that most of us, and this is just real shit, it's kind of negative or whatever, but it's real shit. Most of us will never know what that's like to get that close to those heights in life, man. To almost be the greatest at something and to have your arch enemy take it, man. We'll never know what that type of drama is like, man. So yeah, fuck yeah, I think that it all hit him. The fact that the championship wasn't real, the fact that he will probably never beat John Jones. I mean, anything can happen in a cage. He looked pretty good in those first 2 rounds, arguably won them. But you know how this sport goes, man. Every fight is your Super Bowl. Getting done like he did, he would have to go. I mean, he'd have to finish every guy in a row for the next couple of years to get a third shot at John. And then that's a maybe. John might be going to heavyweight, so who fucking knows, you know? So yeah, I think all of that is why we seen Daniel break fucking down the way he did. But you know, that was sad, but it's what I watched for, man. That's the real raw emotion. Ain't nothing wrong with that in my eyes, man. That's a real fucking man right there. All joke and bullshit aside.
And I'm with you on that, dude, 100% with the, you know, the memes that, I mean, I understand why people did it. I know DC, kind of pissed a lot of people off with the whole being, everyone. First of all, everyone was saying, "Oh, he's playing up trying to be the good guy. You should cheer me. You should boo John." Also, the shit. And then, finally, when he started, embracing the fact that people dislike him, he came off looking more fake, even if it wasn't fake, right? So a lot of people had like this ill feelings about it. They call him a bully because the shit he was saying. I don't think they understand how the fight game works. I mean, you can call him a bully if you want to. That's selling tickets, motherfuckers, all right? You don't think Conor McGregor playing that up? You don't think if you went up to Conor McGregor on the street, he wouldn't be a nice guy, say hi to you, shake your hand and everything? You think he would be like, fuck you, beg me for an autograph or beg me for a picture? Yeah, as a joke, maybe, but that's called promoting. You know what I mean? So the way I see it, DC was just promoting, trying to do his, trying to do his best to get you interested, right? So that's one, because that's the first thing. Because I tweeted that shit out too. I was like, yo, come fuck on, man. Like, that's not right. You know what I mean? And people were like, oh, well, what the fuck? It's okay if we do it to Rousey. It's okay if we do it to so-and-so. And I go, it wasn't okay then either. That was kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? That being said, different. Yeah, that being said, it's like how could you not feel? It's like you said, 38-year-old man just knocked out like he was right there, and he gets knocked out. And if you don't feel that kind of pain, shit. Remember at UFC 200, that video they took, the UFC camera guy had the camera kind of by his side when Dana White told DC that John Jones tested positive. The emotion DC showed then, DC cried, and the first words were, "Man, I trained so hard, Dana. Come on."
Right. No, and that's another thing that should be said about this. I think that you have to judge each fighter in each case on their own merit. DC looked crushed. I mean, I know a lot of fighters. Listen, maybe some fighters are a lot more crushed than they look, and I can't tell that. I'm not a mind reader. I'm just going off the raw emotion that I got immediately watching them fighters in the cage. I don't immediately feel that sad ever usually. People win, they lose. I don't really get that invested one way or the other. Not since BJ Penn have I loved a man that fought. Like, I've learned my lesson with that shit. In fighters no more, man, because I don't want to feel that kind of pain. But fuck, man. And I'm not a DC fan. I was jumping out of my chair when John finished the fight. I'm a John guy for sure. That's the dude, in my opinion. But seeing DC like that, knowing what this meant to him and what it basically means to his career, it was heavy, man. Hearing his voice break. He said when they were talking about the rivalry, when he said it's not much of a rivalry if you lose both of them, fucking almost cried, man. I gotta be honest. I was fucking like, God damn, DC, get the mic away from him before he fucking makes me tear up.
Yeah, dude, and two, it's like come fuck on with we're seeing the reality. That's real. That was very real emotion coming from Daniel Cormier. So, the memes, I get it. People are gonna be, internet's gonna internet. This is what it is. Internet is gonna internet, and you can't stop it. But try to have a little bit of compassion.
We can't call them cunts for doing it.
Yeah, we can. But as far as like DC goes, I think he realized what, because the thing, legacy, you can have your own legacy in your own mind, right? Like, he can take solace in the fact that he, defended the belt, what, 3 times? No, 2 times. He defended the belt twice. I mean, he beat AJ twice, he beat Gustafsson, and he just kind of beat who's likely going to go down as the greatest of all time at the end of it, when he's done, right? So I think he realizes that history is going to remember him as the guy that couldn't beat John and that was a paper champion. I think that's what he was worried about. A lot of guys, when they get to that mountaintop, they're like, oh, cool, I'm getting the checks. If you're up there long enough, you defend your belt once or twice, you start worrying about your legacy at that point.
Listen, it's also this moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's also this moment, right? Like 2 months, 6 months from now, we won't feel as bad for DC because he won't probably be as distraught about himself right now. He's probably come to the grips that he just lost to John Jones. Same thing that every other cocksucker's done that got in the cage with him. It's not that bad, but in that moment, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you walk in the house and you find your wife sucking somebody else's dick. As soon as you get out of the house, if I do an interview with you, like, how do you feel right now? I want to rip your fucking head off. If you talk to me fucking 2.5 months from now, I'm going to tell you she was a fucking stupid whore, but I'm doing just fine. You know what I'm saying? In that moment, he probably thought, fuck me. Where's the new set, boys? I'm done. My whole fucking life and career's over. I just got smashed out in front of millions of people. It's over. But, time heals all wounds, man. I'm sure that eventually DC will come to grips with it. I'm fucking Jones.
Now, 38 years old. He just got knocked out in the nastiest way. Fred, if you're DC, you coming back?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's only lost to John, one other motherfucker, before I hang it up. Now, I would probably try to slide up to heavyweight, give myself a little bit of new air. Damn all that weight cutting. At this point, I would probably be just trying to kind of fight to have some fun, make some money. Maybe if Kane can't fill it in, make a run at heavyweight. That's with John at heavyweight, where I don't got to deplete myself down to 205, and I can at least sell that angle of the fight. Like, hey, cutting to 205 used to hurt me a lot more than everybody thought. At heavyweight, I keep all my, probably all bullshit, but whatever, If John and Daniel can meet a year or 3 from now at heavyweight, maybe you can sell that fight again. So don't need to fucking retire. I think listen, like I said, till John fucking thunderstruck him upside his head with a fucking foot, he gets the GOAT. He hasn't lost a step.
I thought he won his first 2 rounds, man. Jesse, what do you think? If you're DC, you done?
No, man, definitely not. I mean, like Fred just said, I mean, you only have 2 losses on your record. It's against the same guy. Now, probably to be considered the greatest to ever do it. I mean, you could literally just, live off of that. You could be the guy that you have to beat to get to that guy. You could move up. You could do any number of things. Hell, he could retire right now, open up an AKA down in Louisiana, and be utterly successful because you're going to be learning from one of the greatest to ever do it. So, I mean, there's so many positive things that can come from this. He, like a lot of people keep saying, I mean, he came up in the wrong era, wrong era for his wrestling career. And again, wrong era for his MMA career, coming up against, John Jones. But I mean, there's nothing to hang his head about. I mean, honestly, like, I think a lot more people gained a lot more respect from DC because, as you were saying earlier, Eddie, he was winning. I mean, he was winning that fight. I mean, if it had kept going that way, he probably would have banked 3 rounds, 4 rounds, and then he would have retained his title. But I mean, circumstances are what they are. John Jones just set him up very well and, capitalized on him. And, it's just one of those things, you get caught. And DC was really smart. He tried to avoid the upcoming shots. It's too much, man. It's too much for him. But yeah, I mean, screw it. Go up to heavyweight, take one fight up there, go for the title up there. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could take out, the current champ. Now, will he want to? According to the guys over at MMA Junkie, I mean, people from his camp are already saying that he is more than likely moving up to heavyweight already. So, I mean, that's pretty telling of what his mindset is. He's going to move past this and just move right along with his career. So, I don't think we should feel bad for him. And like you guys keep saying, the internet's going to do its thing. It's just going to be, it's just going to be something that he's got to steer into, right?
Right. Now, real quick, the YouTube comments. Liam, what up, Liam? Saying he agrees 100% with us on this, on the meme thing. And then wonder how much the commentating pays him. I mean, he's not going to get rich off of commentating, but I'm sure it's a nice little paycheck.
He gets paid good money though.
Oh yeah, he made $1 million. In this fight.
Good money.
He made $1 million in this fight. He's fine. He ain't hungry. Now, real quick, got to give John Jones a lot of credit. He was classy as shit after the fight, man. Classy. After all the shit that was said back and forth, he was like, I wasn't surprised John Jones was like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I was like a little bit like, all right, John, that's like he said all the right things about DC, right? Great champion. He said, I want to be like that, man, and other stuff like that. I don't know. It makes me, I don't know, I guess like John a little bit as far as that goes anyway. But I'm like you, Fred. Ever since Kane keeps getting fucking injured, I can't invest emotionally in a fighter anymore because if they get fucked up like that, you know what it is. If you see BJ Penn get knocked out, it hurts. I saw King get knocked out by fucking JDS. I was like, fuck. Like, it fucked me up for a little bit. Like, nah. So, yeah, I don't do it either, dude. I don't get invested at all anymore. At all. Fuck that. But, all right, let's talk about what's next for John Jones. He calls out Brock Lesnar. Now, if you had two choices, a choice between Brock Lesnar and Alexander Gustafsson, as a fan, Fred, who you rather see him take on?
Okay, so here's the deal with this question, man. As with most things, I have to answer a question with a question.
Right.
Only get one or which would I like to see happen first type shit. Like, if I only get to pick one fight, okay, then obviously it's Gus. You know, let's not fool ourselves. We all know what the fight is. There's only one man, quite frankly, outside of heavyweight, and not many at heavyweight as far as it goes. Guy at 205 for John Jones right now. Let's all just, you know, address the fucking elephant in the room right now. It's Alexander Gustafsson or goddamn it bust at 205. That's what it is.
Yep.
Obviously, that's the fight that we all want to see. That's the only fight that John's ever been remotely tested in. Now, that being said, there are a lot of other reasons to do the Brock fight. I mean, obviously, you know, not you know, least of which the money. It's going to be a big fucking money grab. It's probably the biggest fight that the UFC can put on, bar none, outside of a Conor fight right now.
Oh yeah,
Brock Lesnar, John Jones. That's a fucking big one, Jack. And it's one of those win-win-win situations, right? More than likely, John Jones wins that fight. More than likely, nobody cares that Brock loses. But it's a fight you can sell going into it because Brock is huge, out at heavyweight, and there's the slight chance Brock gets the takedown. Man, lots of shit to like about both fights. If I gotta pick one, I'm going with Gustafsson. In an ideal world, those are his next two fights. I don't give a shit how you do them. I mean, realistically, Brock probably isn't an option next because he's out of the USADA thing. He'd have to get back in. Brock's not going to be able to fight till like fucking March or next summer or some shit at the earliest. So realistically, I guess if we're trying to speak of what's going to happen, it looks like more than likely what we'll get will be the rematch with Gustafsson first, which ain't nobody going to sneeze at. But if we get that fight first and Jones wins that one, I think it's a fucking slam dunk first fight at heavyweight to be Brock Lesnar. I mean, you know, ideal world, it couldn't go no fucking better.
I'm with it, Jesse. If you had, let's go with the same scenario that Fred just did. First, if you can only pick one, which one would you pick? And two, if you could have both, which one do you want to see first?
I think my answer would actually be the same one. I think Brock Lesnar. Like you guys were talking about on the post-fight show, I mean, this is the money era, right? We got to make that money. We got to make those pay-per-view buys. Nothing else sells but Brock Lesnar. I mean, to the hardcores, yeah, we want to see Gustafsson get in there, of course. You know, we want to see if it is true that you know that he's the one that's going to be able to beat John Jones, but I don't know, man. I think it's much more interesting to have Brock Lesnar jump in there and see what he can do. It'd just be a much more interesting fight for me.
A lot of people, actually, I saw on Twitter, a lot of people were picking Brock Lesnar in that one. I have a hard time buying that for the fact that Brock Lesnar hates getting hit. I mean, he hates getting hit, and he doesn't do well after he gets hit, other than the Shane Carwin fight. But when Kane was super accurate on his face, he was not happy about that shit. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind if I had a choice. Only one of them has to be the Gus fight, and if I could have both, I want to see Brock first and then Gus. With Gus probably fighting Bulkin or something like that, in that time span. So I don't know. It's a lot of interesting shit for John Jones right now. The world's literally in his hands. Like, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Now, real quick before we get off this topic here of John Jones, I was talking to people on Twitter about this a lot. Is John Jones officially a money fight? Is he now the money fight? Especially with the Brock Lesnar talk. Is John Jones a money fight? And I fucking tend to lean to yes. He might be the second rare paintings guy, or painting that guy, the way Conor McGregor puts it, in the UFC. But I think I'm very slightly leaning to yes. I could totally be wrong. What do you think, Fred?
It depends. It depends on what you mean by money fight. I think that John Jones is a money fight right now. Fights.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar, obviously, that's two money powers. But I think him and Gus would do pretty big numbers. Break 1 million. I don't know if John Jones is there yet. And I don't think I would quite call John Jones a money fight just yet. I mean, he's the biggest draw in the UFC outside of Conor for sure. But could he? Is he to a point now to where he can do 1 million buys no matter who he fights like Conor? I don't think so. Not,
Right.
but he's close. Win against Gus and then a huge fight against Brock, and he is that guy. He's fucking a cunt hair from it. Yeah, but he's fucking close.
Dude, if he beats Brock Lesnar, he's there, in my opinion. And when you take the Gus fight, you beat Brock Lesnar, you're there. You know
yeah. Whenever he beats Brock, it's fucking skyrocket.
It's on. Definitely. Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's why my answer was that way of Brock Lesnar first. That's the first fight I'd want to see, because that way he would become that star. I mean, he would become the new Conor McGregor, as you know, as Conor McGregor is doing his thing somewhere else, or you know, trying to decide what his next step is. I think that would be where it's at. As of right now, I don't think he is the money fight. I think a lot of new fans are being reintroduced to Jon Jones, right. And I think his next fight is going to be where all that hits, and it has to be the right fight. And I think if it is Gustafsson, I agree with you guys. It'll be a great fight for the hardcores, but I don't think it's going to be that red panty night. And to me, red panty night is that you can put Jon Jones against, you know, Fred Kirby, and that's going to sell 1 million. You know, that's the type of drawing power he needs to have. And the only way he gets that is he gets those, you know, faggy WWE fans to come over and, you know, embrace Jon Jones.
All right. I mean, I don't know. Jon Jones is an interesting subject. We're going to be talking about him playing, I'm sure, in the next few months. That being said, real quick, the Brock Lesnar fight would not happen until probably next summer due to the suspension for Brock. And, you know, Brock still works for WWE and all that shit. So who knows what his schedule is like with that. So more than likely, the Gus fight's next. What's that?
Did you hear what Joe Rogan said on the broadcast?
No, what did he say?
He said, who do we have to bribe or pay off?
Yeah. Who do we have to bribe? Hey, he's not wrong. That's boxing. He ain't wrong. Yeah, Vegas is Vegas, but those fuckers can be bribed, dude. Yeah. Anyway, all right, moving on. Let's talk about Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley, I beat Damian Maia in a very, you know, we talked about this in the post-fight show, especially Fred went in on Woodley on that shit. But now, you know, he's been sparring with Dana White now, and he went as far as to say Dana White needs to apologize to me, or I'm gonna start leaking some shit. And then out of nowhere, TMZ comes out with a video. I think it was TMZ that said, "Oh, me and Tyron Woodley are good now. We're good." And then Tyron Woodley, you know, affirms, "Yeah, we're cool." Does that mean Woodley has some dirt on old Dana White? What do you think, Fred?
No. Tyron demanded a public apology. It's something or not. But I don't see no public apology from Dana on no platform. So if they're good, it's probably because Dana said, "Shut up or I'll sue you and strip you. You like the Bellator logo? Huh? You want to have your goddamn shorts looking like a NASCAR design next time, you cute little prick?" Listen, man, here's the deal, right? Yeah. I know I went in on Tyron on the post show. Let me take a minute to give credit where credit's due. I picked Damian Maia to win this fight. I thought Damian was that guy. I thought he was going to actually be able to get Tyron to the ground. Now, he couldn't. And Tyron does deserve credit for that. Tyron is a great fighter. Damian Maia is one of the best grapplers we've ever seen. Tyron completely negated his grappling, him down one time. Give him a bit of credit. That being said, if everybody in the goddamn stadium, I don't even know, they invented some new shit. Listen, bruh, your fight was so boring. Fuckers came up with a new way to diss you. I've been watching fights for a long time. I ain't never seen motherfuckers pull out their cell phone and start shining their lights and shit to me. Yeah. They next leveled y'all. They took y'all to the next level. I've never even seen that done before. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't know what it means.
I'm like, damn. Yeah, I mean, I knew what it meant, basically, that they were fucking bored and shit, but I'd never seen that before. They, like, invented some new shit to tell y'all how bad this fight was. And the reality is, you know, Tyron could come on and he could talk about how the UFC don't promote him. He could talk about how Dana White did this. He could talk about how he threw his shoulder out in the first round. I mean, listen, I understand that. I understand. What'd you say, Jesse? I
said he didn't. I don't know if you saw it today. They did the medical suspensions. He's suspended for 7 days for just, you know, whatever is the 7 days. No torn labrum, no bad injury, nothing. Even though he said, if you remember, he said, I tore my labrum. I know what that feels like. It's not. So
real quick, I gotta update your ass on that one. It went from 7 days to 180.
Oh,
yeah. So
when did this happen?
In the last, let me see if there's a time thing on this. In the last 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. 20 minutes ago? What the hell?
No, it's like, hold up. It's EDT. So, no, like, actually, it was like a couple hours ago. Basically, it's what it says. The CSAC, the California State Athletic Commission, has suspended him for 180 days due to a shoulder injury. Initially, he was suspended for only 7 days, but upon getting more information, decided to extend it to 180. He has to be cleared or he can be cleared by an orthopedist. That, and I mean, I know you guys, I don't know how much you guys do Snapchat and shit. I follow Tyron Woodley on there, and every snap so far has been him getting work on his shoulder. And he's going on vacation too. But I got believe him when he said his shoulder's fucked up. I don't know about a torn labrum or anything like that. But yeah, when I saw a 7 days thing, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Tyron. They're not going to give you 7 days. But it's 180 apparently. So yeah.
Listen. Be all that as it may. I understand that, and I get that. Man, it doesn't matter, right? You need to figure it out. I'm not trying to be a cunt. I'm not trying to be a quote unquote keyboard warrior. But you remember a little dude named Uriah Faber?
Yes, sir.
You guys remember a fight? I think it was against Mike Brown, if I'm not mistaken, in the rematch, if I'm not mistaken, after he lost his belt, where he broke both of his hands. And he was elbows at that cocksucker in the 4th round with vicious intent, still trying to finish the fight. And you know what happened after that fight? We rode Uriah's dick because we knew his hands were broke. He wasn't throwing them no more at all. He wasn't using his hands. He was throwing just elbows. I'm just saying that at a certain point, you got to go for it. And by got to, I don't mean got to. You don't got to do shit, right? You won the fight. You're still the champion. But you're not going to sell tickets, and you can't make the fans like you because you played the game well. I mean, look at the greats, man. Look at who we deem our great fighters as. Who do we worship, man? Anderson Silva, fucking Fedor, Vanderlei, Chuck Liddell. I mean, let's be fucking honest. Why do you think we worship those guys? Rich Franklin, BJ Penn. Get with the fucking program, Tyron. You know, I realize not everybody can be a blood and guts fighter, but it's not always about that either. You got to just go for it. You got to give us something to fucking be into you for, man. A lot of people felt like, you know, maybe he did tear his labrum, but a lot of people feel like he didn't like really go for that win against a guy that was clearly, you know, a worse striker than him. Quite frankly, it felt like there were points in the fight where Damian Maia was a sitting duck. Tyron's so much faster and so much better of a striker. Once I fucking realized that Damian couldn't get a takedown, I'm like, oh shit, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Hit the whole 5 rounds.
Yeah, otherwise if we're not able to.
Yeah. No, it was pretty bad, dude. So, and honestly, Dana White saying, like, what did Dana White say after the fight in the press conference? He said something like who wants to pay to watch Dana or to watch the Tyron Woodley fight? And then he pulled that GSP out. He pulled the GSP fight out. Like, no one wants to watch Woodley GSP, right?
Right. Sad thing is, it's fucking facts. Dude, run a fucking poll, Tyron. Who wants to pay money to see you fight, bro?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, as far as Woodley goes, let's see what happens with him. I'm sure he's going to be out, obviously, for 180 days, but probably more than that due to the shoulder injury and all that. Meanwhile, let's just talk real quick about the 3rd title fight on this card, and then whatever you guys want to touch on 214. Chris Cyborg. The question is who's next. I mean, that's basically the question. Everyone's saying Megan Anderson. Or let's say right after the fight, everyone's saying Megan Anderson. Or Kat Zingano. Dana White threw out Holly Holm. Today and yesterday, nobody's saying shit about Chris Cyborg. Not that I've seen. Like, nobody's talking about Chris Cyborg, who she fights next. It's kind of quiet for her. Jesse, what do you think about that? Do you think people give a shit about Chris Cyborg?
I think so. I think the controversy has been, you know, the Tyron Woodley. You know, really to put a bow on that for me is that if you go out there and say you're the best in the world, you're the best at a division, you got to prove it, man. I went back and forth on Twitter with some people that were saying that, you know, you can't guarantee someone to be entertaining. Yes, you can. I mean, there was plenty of examples of guys on this card alone that were entertaining and fought smart fights. They weren't out there just blood and guts, which Tyron Woodley, for some reason, thinks that that's all the fans want to see. Tyron Woodley keeps saying, all fans want to do is watch a person, get beat up and then him get put down, then he gets back up. No, that's not what we want to see. We want to see someone be dominant and be exciting in that they're going for the finish. They're trying to finish that fight. At any point, did you guys feel like Tyron Woodley was trying to finish that fight? No. I never felt he was trying to finish that fight. But I think this is what clouds this whole, Chris Cyborg, because she put on a very good performance as well. She was, patient. She picked her shots, and she busted up a very, very tough veteran, and Tanya Evinger. And think about it. I mean, most people thought she was going to get snuffed out in one round. She lasted 3 rounds. Not very good 3 rounds, but she still lasted those 3 rounds. And she peppered Cyborg a little bit here and there. Nothing that was going to really affect and stop her. But, I mean, she was definitely, trying to do something in there. So, I mean, it was a very good performance. Now, moving forward, I think you've already got the division set up. You've got Holly Holm, you've got Megan Anderson, and you got Kat Zingano. That's at least 3 fights that she can, put forward. And like you guys were saying before, might as well just do a 145 tough season while you have at least those 3 fights lined up for her. In the meantime, that whole division can develop, and you have a dominant champion, defending her title. So I think the division here is going to be fine. It's just making these fights happen. It's either, in my opinion, it's either going to be Megan Anderson or Holly Holm that's next.
All right. Now, Fred, I've always said that, yeah, Cyborg's a nice fighter and all, but there's no one at her level, even at her weight, right, that can give her a solid fight. You can say Holly Holm could do it, especially with the Greg Jackson in her corner. You can say Megan Anderson can do it, but every time I see Megan Anderson fight, she gets tagged a lot. And who knows how much, how she can take shots from Cyborg. Before that, though, I kept saying I'm not impressed by Chris Cyborg because we haven't seen her struggle yet, other than outside MMA itself. She fought, I think, a Muay Thai fight, and she lost, but it was outside the MMA. So, I mean, I've always had a hard time saying that I really care about Chris Cyborg. This, her winning the belt was me going, finally, you can shut the hell up about it. You know what I mean? I'm done. That's kind of what I was thinking right after the fight. So, you tell me, you think, we need to. You think this win by Chris Cyborg, now that she's the champion, UFC and all that people are going to give her shit about Chris Cyborg? Because again, like I said, people were talking right after the fight, a little bit the day after, yesterday and today, not much on Chris Cyborg.
Okay, so listen, I have been a big, a big detractor, so a big Cyborg hater, so to speak. Not really a hater, man. I'm just like what I'm saying, like you just said, man. I feel like she hasn't fought anybody that's really, given her any competition. She's fought a lot of girls that were smaller, that weren't big enough, or that just weren't good enough, period, man. But now we're getting to a different level. So to answer your question, yes, there is intrigue in Cyborg. I'm still intrigued, okay? I feel like we need to get her some fucking serious competition quick, but I'm definitely intrigued. So what Jesse said was basically right, but I would tweak it one way. First things first. We need fucking depth at the talent pool. Immediately, we need a season of tough for the 145ers. And I'll tell you another thing that I would do in the vein of, and I would have some fun with this season. Let's have some fun with this shit. Any girls at 45 that they can snag up that used to be about something. What's the broad's name that Cyborg snuffed out a few times? She's actually a big chick. I think she's fucking European. Marlies Conan.
Yeah.
Bring her in, pull some shit like they did with like when they had Kimbo and Roy on. I say you bring in Marlies Conan, any kind of big names for girls that can actually make that weight. A couple of girls from Invicta who are remotely on the cusp of a title shot. And I tell you another chick that I would throw in this 145-pound house, and I know this would be hard to swing, but I would get her at all fucking costs, is the bitch that beat Cyborg in the Muay Thai fight.
Oh, yeah.
Throw her the money. I don't, Bar is her last name, I think. I forget what the lady's first name is.
Yeah, Bar. I'll find out.
Yeah. Listen, she beat Cyborg in a fucking purely stand-up fight. small gloves and she might sleep Cyborg. And if she can sleep Cyborg, them hoes in the house better wake up. And they better have some good-ass takedowns. You know what I'm saying? You give that girl a little bit of sprawl and brawl, and something tells me she's going to be fucking a handful. And she has a huge storyline in that she's somebody that not only beats Cyborg, but beats Cyborg at her own game at striking. The first thing I think we got to do with Cyborg immediately is line up the Megan Anderson fight, right? She's the only broad out there that's got the size. First off, I think Megan Anderson gets snuffed by Cyborg. But let's do it. It's a challenge and it's a fight to put up there. In the meantime, because I'm not completely sold on Holly Holm, I never really have been, I would match up. I would do a little tournament, okay? I would match Cyborg with Megan Anderson. I would do the 45 Tough House, and I would match Kat Zingano with Holly Holm.
Okay.
And then so if everybody thinks that Holly Holm can take the fight with Cyborg, me personally, I'm always a little iffy on Holly Holm. I would like to see her beat Kat Zingano, and vice versa. Kat Zingano's a 35er, but if she can come out and get a good win over Holly Holm, fuck it, right? Give her the Cyborg fight, assuming that Cyborg beats Megan Anderson. By the time all of that shit plays out, we should have, the winner of the new Tough season and probably at least a couple girls that we feel like, you know how those seasons of Tough go, man. Sometimes the person that wins isn't necessarily the major contender that comes out of a show. So I think that's a pretty decent strategy with Cyborg, and that keeps us interested. I would be interested in that. I think she beats Megan Anderson, but, if Holly Holm can come out and head kick Kat Zingano, I'll jump on the train a little bit, and then like I said, they need that season of Tough for 45. There's just no depth at that division. They need to shut the fucking division down or find some fucking girls for the division.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see them bring in somebody that I don't know if there's anybody at Cyborg's level out there. I mean, like I said, give her credit. She's the baddest chick on 45 easily. There's just not much competition out there that will make me want to watch her fight. The next time she fights and be like, whatever, she's going to snuff somebody else. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Some other 135er that's masquerading as a 145er. So that's just kind of what it is. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about out of 214?
Brian T. City Ortega. How about that guy?
A badass fucking finish on that fight. He was getting his ass whooped. Please believe he's getting his ass whooped. And then jiu-jitsu took over like a boss.
Hey. He might have been slightly losing those striking exchanges, but when you throw in how top-notch his jiu-jitsu was, I'm not really willing to say he was getting his ass whooped. That boy, that's a bad motherfucker right there. I'll tell you what he did in that fight. He showed me that he's got some firepower.
Yep.
That's not on no Damian Maia shit. Like, he showed that he can stand in the pocket and exchange them with a guy who knows how to throw them. And when the fight went to the mat, he fucking snuffed him out on some Damian Maia. That was super impressive performance from T-City.
Super high level too, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about that in our snack scraps. I don't know if you posted it eventually, but he's a guy that he's just had a rough road. I mean, he's a guy that's like, you would probably consider like a troublemaker, a guy that, probably wasn't going to go anywhere, found jiu-jitsu, saved his life, and now he's one guy that I think you have to kind of look out for. I mean, yeah, he takes a little bit of damage, but, man, he makes it exciting. He's a tough bastard. He's a fighter, man. He's a fighter through and through, and, what's this, his fourth third-round finish, right?
I want to say it's true. Yeah. So,
I mean, and all of them by submission, right? So, I mean, he's a guy that we got to look out for, man. 145 is heating up, with guys like that in the division. So, look out for him to move forward. I mean, now he's recovered, no injuries, hopefully no more weed in his system. So, hopefully he'll be exciting from here on out.
Yo, and what about the homie Vulcan Otismere? Just coming out of clear blue. He's got a dope little nickname. He's got no time and shit. Like, I fucking love it, man. Like, this dude is a beast.
I like how he goes, I don't know what he's like, I don't know what happened. I got dynamite in these hands. He's like, woo. Like, I don't know if he worked on that, but I hope he didn't. I hope that was just fucking like out of nowhere shit. You know what I mean? But fuck.
Can I profess my my good idea of picking him beforehand, telling you guys that he was going to snuff out good old the what was it, poster boy or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't believe you until I saw him walk into the cage and do the Luke Rockhold shit, right? The whole like, I ain't got time for this shit. I'm wasting my time. He literally did this to Bruce Buffer, like, come on, hurry up, let's get this over with. He did that shit when Bruce Buffer was announcing him in the corner. When I saw that, I was like, God damn, he's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna get Bisping. And then what happened? Got knocked the fuck out, motherfucker.
But here's the thing though. I mean, Jimmy Manuwa was throwing fire at him. I mean, Ozdemir, because he survived that barrage that started that fight. But I mean, Ozdemir, I think what I saw in him was the fact that he snuffed out Misha Serkinov, a guy that hadn't been snuffed out in his career. And he snuffed him out easy, like, what was it, like 29 seconds or something like that in the first round? I mean, he did it so fast to a guy that's, you know, known as a tough guy, known as a striker. Now he did it to Jimmy Manuwa. So, I mean, look at this guy rocket up the division. I mean, he this is the thing that we're looking at, right? Finally, we're getting contenders, even though, like, people might not see him, you know, ahead of time. You know, people are going to jump on this bandwagon now. But, I mean, you know, it's awesome to see that this guy is really taking advantage of, you know, this platform, because obviously the UFC believes in him, right? Because they put him on this pay-per-view card, you know, starting off the pay-per-view and everything. So I mean, it's good to see that the UFC actually realizes that they have talent that they can put up there.
Yeah.
Bro, you realize before he fought OSP, he was on the fucking prelims of a Titan fight card.
Crazy.
Titan FC.
Crazy.
And he got the quick call up to fight OSP. That's a fucking success story there, boys.
That's a scary motherfucker. Real quick, before we get off of 214 here, I'm scrolling. While you guys are going, I'm scrolling through articles and shit like that. Tyron Woodley shut down the Lawler rematch, or he's shooting it down. What the fuck is that about? I mean, does he even have a choice right now at this point? Like, of who's gonna fight?
If it ain't Lawler, then who the fuck is it gonna be?
He wanted to.
I'm not. You know, I tell you what. 170's low key a fucking dumpster fire right now. Give me a title fight at 170 that I really want to pay money for. I'll wait.
Tyron Woodley against George Masvidal.
I would watch that if Masvidal wasn't coming off a loss. Tough one.
I mean, I'm down for that fight, but I don't want to pay no fucking money for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Here's what my brother-in-law actually suggested. Because the problem is that Tyron Woodley's the problem in this division, right? He's good enough to beat the contenders, but he's just not being that money fight guy, right? Like, he's boring fans out of the division. And, you know, his suggestion was, if you're a top contender, why fight a guy that's not going to give you any kind of pop, right? Fight other guys in your division. Become the star. Become the money guy. Because if you go and fight Tyron Woodley, that's just like, you're just going to end your career right there, right? Because say he beats you in a boring fashion, like say he takes that George Masvidal fight, beats him in a boring fashion, runs away from him and everything. What are we going to do with George Masvidal? Oh, he couldn't beat Woodley either. But it's not like he got snuffed out. He just couldn't run after him fast enough to beat him.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. All right.
Listen, I take it back. Hold on, sorry, I take it back.
What up?
There's only one way you cocksuckers can sell me a fucking Tyron Woodley fight at this point, and that's if somebody drags Nick Diaz out of retirement and we get to see him come back and hopefully, for the love of the MMA Jesus Christ and Allah, away from the fucking villain that was Tyron Woodley, bringing a dark cloud over the. How did 170 go from being so exciting and vibrant to fucking dead patch of flowers that it is now? You can't sell 13 pay-per-views in that fucking division now, fucking around with Tyron Woodley. Take that belt and fucking bring some goddamn juice back to the division.
That's what I was gonna say too. I was gonna end that with bring Nick Diaz back. He wants a money fight. Bring back a bad motherfucker that will come fight him. Like, good luck.
That is his only money fight. Real talk.
Yeah. Bring back a guy, and if Nick Diaz beats him, holy shit. Okay, that's just holy shit at that point. All right. Say what you want about him not winning a fight and since like whatever year you didn't get suspended, but that being said, dude still comes to fight. Everyone's complaining how boring Woodley Maya was. Bring in a guy that can fight. Bring in a guy to bring a fight. Nick Diaz will bring a fight. After you see him go in there, stop bitching. Anyway, all right. Real quick, off the this is actually just happened in the last little bit. Michael Bisping says on UFC Tonight that his fight against George St. Pierre is official for UFC 217 in New York City. I don't have a date on here yet. On November 4th, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So looks like they're gonna get that fight that I still don't understand how is even getting made, but you know, what are you gonna do? Good for Michael Bisping getting a payday. How about that? All right. Anything else you guys want to throw out here? We can usually do the what the fuck? Mayweather wants 8-ounce gloves. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No. Real quick, he doesn't. Look, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. If you didn't know, pretty sure you can't go lower than 10-ounce gloves at that weight, right?
Correct.
No, you're not supposed to. No, yeah.
Okay.
No.
So can we just kill that shit? Can we start the clickbait about that already, motherfuckers? Cut the shit. It's not happening. It's not possible. The guy's just trolling at this point.
Is this genius though by Mayweather?
Oh,
everybody's talking about UFC 214, John Jones, and Mayweather goes, "Hey, I'll fight in 8-ounce gloves," knowing he knows full well that that's not going to happen. But hey,
everybody knows. Conor McGregor knows. Like, come on. Anyway, it's just stupid. All right. Again, look through the headlines real quick. Meanwhile, UFC Mexico this weekend, headlined by Brandon Moreno and Sergio Pettis. It's the last UFC, by the way, for the entire month of August. We're just waiting for Mayweather and McGregor at this point, right? Other than that, you get the Tuesday night fight series that the Dana White's been putting on. It actually has some fire fucking fights. I mean, I didn't watch yesterday's, but apparently that Phil Haas kid out of Jackson, New Mexico, got knocked the fuck out. I've
seen the highlight on Twitter.
You saw that shit, right? It was fucking dirty. I don't know what they're teaching down there, but that dude needs to leave. Go to AKA where there's other wrestlers there or something.
You gotta watch that fight, man. He was just like completely outclassed by, I think the guy's name was Julian Marquez, the guy that ended up, and I think they signed him right away because his striking was just beautiful, powerful, vicious. I mean, even that head kick finish was just nasty, man. That kid's nasty. I can't wait to see that kid fight again. Piggybacking off of that, another guy that we probably talked about before, but John Castaneda also was on that Contender Series. Mm-hmm. He was the first fight of that night. Won a gritty fight. I think he won the last 2 rounds of his fight. So hopefully, the UFC takes another look at him and signs him. He was over at Combates for a while. Didn't want to take a fight. I think either he missed weight or somebody else missed weight. Didn't want to take a rematch, so Combates cut him. But looks like he might be on a good path here in the UFC. So check that whole fight card out, man. It had some exciting fights on there.
All right, anything else you guys want to throw out here before we go?
You're not going to talk about your girl fighting this weekend?
Dude, don't jinx this for me. All right, don't do that.
Don't ruin it.
Don't ruin it for me. Don't jinx it. I'm not going to talk about this card for the fact. How about this? We'll go over Barry, like who's on the card, and that's about it. But you're not fucking with me on this, Jesse. All right. God damn it! She just lost a fight. All right, because I was talking shit. See, I told you I don't want to get like invested in a fight. I'm invested in her already. I swear to God, if she loses this weekend, dude, I'm done. Like, fucking
wow, you're dumping her already, huh? God,
I'm not dumping her. No, dude. I don't want to get too beat up when I finally get her.
All right,
like meet her and shit. All right,
the co-main event of that card. For me, I think the main event and the third fight down should be pretty interesting fights. Alan Jouban fighting, coming back or getting wrecked by what's his name? What was his last loss? God, the jiu-jitsu guy, right?
Was it Gunner?
Yeah, it was Gunner. Gunner knocked him out, right?
Yeah, Gunner finished him. Pretty sure. I'm pulling up right now. But he's taking on Nico Price, who's a bad motherfucker too. He came in as an unknown last fight, I think, and fucking I forgot who he fought. Yeah, he got guillotine shot by Gunnar Nelson. If you're talking Al Jouban.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Nico Price, meanwhile, 10-0, undefeated, obviously. Last fight, was that knockout win over Alex Morono. Before that, arm triangle over Brandon Thatch. But at this point, anyone can submit Brandon Thatch. It's kind of sad. But what are you gonna do? Also on this card, man, besides the co-main event we're not going to talk about, Sergio Pettis against Brandon Moreno. Martin Bravo against Humberto Bandenay. So, you get a couple lesser-known guys. Here's an interesting one, and it's not even it's a main card. It's a second fight on the main card. Sam Alvey against Rashad Evans. Rashad Evans isn't a top 2 fight on this card. Now, you guys remember, I think it was New York wouldn't sanction Rashad Evans, right? And I think neither would Texas.
Yeah.
They had to go out of the country to get this fight sanctioned. Yeah, Toronto. There you go, Toronto, not Texas, Toronto. New York wouldn't do it. Toronto wouldn't do it. They had to go to Mexico to get this dude to fight. It sounds to me like this is it for him. Like this got to be his last fight, right? I mean, if you have to go out of the country to get you a fight, god damn, dude.
Listen, nobody loves Sam Alvey more than me. But if Rashad don't win this fight, it's the fucking end of the road, baby. Do or die for Rashad, for sure.
Yeah, it's got to be. So, Jesse, you think who you picking in this one? Just this one.
I really think that, like you guys said, if Rashad can't win. But I think it also depends how he loses. If Sam Alvey knocks him out, you definitely have to have that talk with him, right? That Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub talk of like the same for you no more. Because I mean, he can't keep sustaining these knockouts and stuff. So I wouldn't want to see that after this fight.
Yeah, I mean, besides, where else
listen,
go?
man, I remember.
Go ahead.
Remember who Rashad used to be. I remember the Rashad that actually had a slightly, competitive fight with John Jones. Like I said, probably more than me, but he is a slow, plodding, predictable power puncher. If Rashad Evans cannot handle Sam Alvey, it is the end of the road. I wish I had the little boys the man that we could play. Although we go. It's sad, but it's the end of the road, baby. That's all she wrote for you, Rashad. You used to be something, but if you get outstruck or finished by Sam Alvey, or think about how fast Rashad used to be. And like I said, God loves Sam Alvey. He is not known for his speed. Think about this fight happening about 4 or 5 years ago. I would just imagine Rashad fucking lighting Sam Alvey up like a Christmas tree.
Adley.
Kind of slow and predictable as Sam Alvey is and as fucking fast as Rashad's hands used to be, you would think this would be fucking easy work for Rashad. So if this bitch even looks competitive, I think it's time, it didn't work for Rashad. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a big Rashad Evans fan. I always was, but, I just I want him to go off on a win. It's like, look, to me, it just says a lot. You have to go out of the country to get him a fight. You know what I mean? It's goddamn, dude. Fuck. Anyway. All right. If nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us tonight. Actually, let me give you the times for that card this weekend because apparently not a lot of people know about it. They haven't fucking promoted this fucking card at all, dude. So I'm not surprised people are just like, what, there's a card this weekend? Mind you, there's no cards after this one. All right. Other than the Tuesday night fights, nothing until after August 26th, I believe.
Wait. If you think this is the worst promoted fight, isn't the PFL the worst promoted? Because they had an event also on Saturday. Do you hear anybody talking about that card?
Oh, all I heard was Jake Shields won. That's all I heard. And that's because they represent Twitter. That's the only reason I know. Because I saw it on there.
These fucking pricks have a fucking fight card on the night that John Jones returned. They got some fucking balls on them. I'll give them that.
Or they don't give a shit.
They are the most ill-timed, or, they could not run their shows on worse dates. I have no idea what's the matter with these people. Don't you guys get the memo?
I think they're just trying to run through the events this year. Because remember, next year is when they start the whole tournament. You could win millions of dollars or whatever if you win. Blah blah blah. I mean, I think they're just killing their budget this year, just not doing well, man.
They're throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. UFC Fight Pass early prelims for this weekend: 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. FS1 prelims, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and the main card on FS1, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. The main card has 6 fights on it. It's gonna go late. If you're on the East Coast, prepare for the shit to go late. All right, and again, that usually loses people viewers because it's not a ridiculously stacked card. So what are you gonna do? And then just going off the schedule here.
We all want to stay up till 3 in the morning to see Sergio Pettis.
Brandon Moreno. Yeah. So then after this, we really don't have much. August 8th is Tuesday night fights, and then obviously every Tuesday, through August. The next card, a UFC card, September 2nd, Struve against Volkov. Exactly. We're not coming back with a bang, because then after that one, September 9th, UFC 215, DJ versus Ray Borg. And then fight night, Rocco versus what's his name from World Series or whatever they call it now. Fuck. Who's Rocco fighting?
David Branch.
Thank you.
There you go,
Branch. There you go. Exactly my point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Appreciate you guys joining in. Shout out to Liam, Jeremiah on here, Robert, anyone that fucking watches the shows, man. We really, really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe.
You know what? Real quick.
What up?
Shout out to our boy Ricky Palacios for winning his fight over at Combates last weekend. Tough, gritty fight against
Chris Avila.
Fighter. So it was a good fight, man.
Yeah, Chris Avila, he's good outside the UFC, and I actually saw the replay. It was actually a gritty-ass fight. All right. Oh, that's going to be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow Jesse Ep.61 1983. You can see all the Twitters down here. At Kirby_MMA is, of course, Fred. I'm at Eli31, and, of course, the show's at Keyboard MMA. Follow us, hang out with us. CrossMMA.com has all the shit on there. Original content's coming. A lot more original shit's coming. So make sure you keep an eye out for that and subscribe to get that shit automatically. For myself, my friends here, everyone that's watching, and everyone that has been on the show before, good night. Y'all have a good one. Have a good weekend. And good night, Wilshire.